Wow, that was intense. Seriously, this is probably the darkest episode yet. And I know I say that almost every week. Because every episode I'm like, this was the darkest episode. This is like, no, this was like the darkest episode. Because there's like full out multiverse genocide. Seriously, this was like dark. I like how it points out that Stark is basically the villain, with the exception of Ultron, he's basically the villain of the Age of Ultron movie because he caused Ultron. Like, everything is his fault. You know, everyone gives Stark enough credit, but I've never liked Tony Stark. And I don't like when people say, oh, it's so sad that he died. He was the greatest hero in the MCU. Like, no, half the problems in the MCU are caused by him. Heck, half the villains in the MCU are caused by him. Ultron, Ironmonger, Vulture, Mysterio, Justin Hammer, Whiplash. They're all because of how he treated them. And he created Ultron, so he basically is the cause of like half the problems in the MCU. And I love how this episode pointed that out. I really enjoyed the dynamic of Black Widow and Hawkeye. It kind of reminded me of Kim Possible back in the day, especially because I kind of wasn't expecting Black Widow to be like super funny in this episode. Very much like Black Widow, it basically played out like, or very much like Kim Possible rather. It very much played out like they were adult versions of Kim Possible and Rod, especially like how they tied in the Black Widow movie a little bit by having Red Guardian's shield, and that was awesome. This had a lot of good twists regarding events that happened earlier in the Winter Soldier movie, which that was a really good twist. I was expecting that they kind of tied that one in too. I am kind of wondering though what happened to Wanda and Pietro, because they were a huge part of the story even before the point where Vision was created. I assume Ultron killed them, but they're never even mentioned. It's like they don't exist in this episode, which was weird because they were huge parts of the story. So that's kind of where I wonder what happened to them. Also, I really love how the Watcher, who up to this point, with the exception of the Doctor Strange episode a few weeks ago, has been the narrator and nothing more, but Ultron has made quick work of him, and he is so helpless now that he goes to Doctor Strange to help him. And I thought it was awesome that Vision or Ultron or whatever he is at this point cut Thanos in half like that. Like, as soon as Thanos enters, he used the Maestro to cut Thanos in half. That was really awesome. And also, he made a quick work of Captain Marvel. That was another plus. I'm very excited to see where this goes in the finale next week. This was just bravo, bravo, bravo. This episode was fantastic.